Hello and welcome back to the penultimate part of my Volume 4 and 5 Jaune Cosplay Showcase. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you how I made, I'm going to say Jaune's Sash. It's Jaune's at this point. Pure is dead. She's not using it. Jaune's Sash and his belt. And I'm going to go over the Sash first because quite frankly, that was an easier one to make, or okay, if I'm being honest, that was the one I bullshitted the most. So, yeah, here's basically how it looks. And it doesn't look like much, but this is actually very stretchy fabric, which, since I can't sew, and any cosplayer who is watching this right now who can sew and has made a sash before, you're gonna cringe at what I did, but you know what? I'm okay with it because it works. So, I'm alright with it. But, so as I found this out, you can actually see it's about 1.5 feet wide, even though it's maybe 3 feet long, or maybe 4 feet long. I don't know. I don't know my waist size, but I probably should. So this is a widthy one because what I did was, and this part of the sash where, oh, it's getting all messed up. So it goes around like that, and you can see it's got the frills at the end where it's tied off, but that's just an illusion. They're two pieces, and I'm going to show you why in just a second. So with this piece, I wanted to tie it off because it would have, it can only be so thick near that knot, and then it kind of slopes upward as it does in the show. So on the left side, you get more of that bulk there, but on the right, it fans down so that you can have the ends of it kind of taper off. And so with that knot, I just super glued any point in which the two sides touched. So that is never coming off. And let me show you how it actually looks on my body. Okay. So once that's on, it looks kind of weird. It looks very weird, but what you do is you grab the end of the left side on the bottom and the top, and you just kind of pull up and then release and adjust as needed. So this is a very versatile piece of costuming that I'm actually kind of proud of, even though I had no idea what I was doing, but it worked out kind of well in the end. So the reason I like this is because, and I'm going to grab the camera real quick, it's because you get the kind of that look of layering that you can see in the show. And on the side, you have that knot, which is where the second piece comes into play. So the back side or the front, I forget which, one side of the sash is longer than the other, so you want to kind of eyeball it, maybe about there, and then you just place that just over the knot, and with one finger you hold that in place, get the long side, go underneath the sash, and then out through that loop you just made. Okay? And then with the lower part, you do the exact same thing. Underneath the tuck it under the sash, and then out through the loop. And that makes this little thingy, which you can then drape over the knot and give the illusion that it's all one piece of fabric. And again, it's all about that 5 foot rule. If it looks good from here, let's see, like that, I'm good with it. So, yep, that'll do for the sash. As for the belt, I actually used a very similar method that I used for his Volume 1 through 3 belt. This little pouch, it is as close to the show as I could humanly get it. It does not function as an actual pouch, and that's because it's actually made out of a 1-inch thick, it's just a 1x4 piece of wood. And so that is then plasti dipped to get rid of any wood grain that you might see. Well, it's sanded down first to get rid of that. And the edges, as you can see, have also been sanded to round them out and give them a better look. If it was just, it can't be too angular because that's not what it is in the show, quite frankly. And then on top, so the little area that comes down here, you can see the seam on the back. It's all just craft foam that I painted the same color. And the gold border is also craft foam. And this is a little thumbtack I painted gold. But I press it in very far so you can see it actually gives it a little bit of dimensionality to it since the craft foam kind of bends inward towards it. So that was then epoxied onto the leather and also stapled just for extra security, as well as this end of the buckle. So this is all fake. Like, this doesn't serve as a belt buckle. It's actually just cardboard, very thin cardboard. I actually got it from the inside of a binder, kind of like this, you know. You get the cardboard inside of that, and it's actually pretty stable after you seal it with some Plasti Dip. And again, it's painted gold, so this little piece goes inside the grommets, and even the leather, I just bought a strap of 2-inch leather that I then grommeted where the I guess they're just called grommets. You know, I punched holes where these need to go and then just clamped them on. And again, this is all just super glued to it, and it feeds through the back and is then also super glued on the back side, just so you know that that's not going anywhere. That being said, I had to fudge it a little bit because you can see this buckle is the same, or it's a little bit thinner than the leather I have. So I had to cut inward and then out to make this little band to fit through this this clasp. And then, you know, it's just super glued, pinching it. And actually, I'm pretty sure this was like a rush fix at RTX because it was a little too loose. So I just went back in the hotel and cut that off. But I used the same technique before. And then this is also, it just has a loop of leather that goes in one side, out the other, and then pinched together with some super glue. You can kind of see, yeah. So the leather goes in this side, out this side, pinched together with another bit of leather connecting the two. Again, just so you know that this is not going to come apart from you during a convention. And so, yeah, it clasps together there. And you can hardly see that seam, especially from 5 feet away. So once it's on, really, let's see, which side? Yeah. So once it's on, actually, I think, yeah, it goes on this side. So once that's on, you kind of want to, and there's no real way to do this, but you want the pouch to be higher. Like it, I don't know why Jaune slants its belts. He doesn't look any cooler by doing it, but, you know, he does. So that is how that looks on a body. My body. Yeah, and so I think that'll do it. Only got one more episode, and that is going to be the Sword and Sheath, which is also kind of a rush job because I made this cosplay in 2 weeks because I hate myself. I don't hate myself. But yeah, so that'll do it for this episode. I've got the... You know what? I'm going to show you what it looks like with both the sash and the belt on. So once you have the sash here, let me see. It's a little loose. Okay, so if that little knot area gets loose, like you can see it kind of fell past it, you can just take both ends of the sash and just kind of jostle it up and then pull on either side, and that'll tighten it around that knot. But yeah, that looks fine. So you just step right into it, pull it up. It'll drape over your right hip And then again, you can get those two ends of the sash. One is going to be longer, and just pull them down so that it's tight over that knot. So you really want to disguise it there, you know, make it look like it's all one piece. And with this side, you don't want it to be that thin because that's simply not what it's like in the show. So you just pull it down, and since it's elastic, or not elastic, it's stretchy, so it'll stick with you. And the pouch goes on the left side, and then the belt buckle about an inch and a half past the belt, and then there are 5 grommets after that. So if you just keep that in mind, once you buckle it on, it should just kind of be where it needs to. But as we all know, that never happens in cosplay. Oh, also, man, the camera angle is not good. I'm just going to move this real quick. There we go. That works. Oh, that's so much better. Okay. So, you can see the sash is here. You then get the belt, go underneath the sash ends, the ends of the sash. And you wrap around up top, and then it crosses over the sash, and you buckle it on that side. So, and then from there you can probably like get the top of the sash and pull it up over the belt. Just gradually start on one side and work your way over. And there you go. That is Jaune-Arc's sash and belt that he has in volumes 4 and 5 of RWBY.